All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to take a guided tour of something that, let's be honest, can look pretty intimidating at first, a GitHub project page. We're going to cut through all that clutter and figure out how to actually read it, understand what's going on, and find the real story hidden inside all that code.
I mean, you've been there, right? You click a link, and bam! You're just staring at this wall of text, all these menus, files, a ton of jargon. It's a lot. And that feeling of being totally overwhelmed, that's completely normal. But I promise you, there's actually a really simple logic to all of this chaos.
So the best way to think about a project page like this is, well, it's like a dense forest of information. This is what we call a code repo site, which is just a fancy way of saying it's the one central place where all the files for a software project live and grow. And our job today is to find the main trail right through the middle of that forest.
Okay, so we can actually break all that clutter down into a few key areas. You've got your main navigation menus way up top, some tools for you over on the side, but then right there in the middle, that's the heart of the project. That's where we're going to find all the code files and, more importantly, the project's actual story.
You know, in pretty much every single well-organized project, there's one file that's basically the key to understanding everything else. It's the very first thing you should always look for. It is, quite literally, the project's instruction manual.
And this is it, the README file. I mean, the name really says it all, right? It's the official starting point, written by the people who made the thing, to tell you exactly what you need to know. Seriously, before you even think about looking at a single line of code, you read the README. It is your absolute best friend on any new project.
Okay, so to make this feel real, let's actually look at a project. This right here, this is the title, pulled straight from its README file. And what's really amazing is just how much information is packed into this one single line. This is our first huge clue about what this project is all about.
So let's break that down. Let's decode it. To-do, okay? Pretty obvious, it's a to-do list. Python console app. That tells us it runs in a simple text terminal. No fancy graphics or anything. And then here's the really crucial part, in memory. What that means is, when you close the app, all your tasks just disappear. Poof, nothing gets saved. So look at that. In just a few seconds, we've gone from totally confused to having a really solid idea of what this thing is.
All right, so now we know what it is. Let's dig a little deeper into our instruction manual and see what this app can actually do. Like, what are its features? Any good README is going to lay this out super clearly for us.
And yep, this one totally does. It's exactly what you'd expect from a to-do list, right? You can add new tasks, you can view the whole list, update a task, delete one, and mark one as complete. So here's the real key. Without looking at a single line of code, we already know the project's purpose and its entire set of features. That is the power of starting with the README.
Okay, this is all great in theory, but how do we actually get this thing running on our own computer? Well, you probably guessed it. The instruction manual is going to tell us that too. Let's see how we go from just, code on a web page to an actual running application on our machine.
And look at how simple the README makes it. It's broken down into two easy parts. First, think of it like the ingredients. You need a specific version of Python. Then, you've got the instructions. You just clone the repository and run the main file. That's it. In just a couple of steps, you are up and running.
The README even gives us a sneak peek of what to expect once the app is actually running. We get this super simple text menu. You just press 1 to add a task, 2 to see your list, all the way down to 0 to exit. It's all laid out for you. It's totally transparent, so there are no surprises.
So we've just walked through this whole project, and I know what you might be thinking. This is pretty basic. And you're right, it is. But simple projects like this are actually so important, and there's often a lot more going on here than you'd think at first glance.
For instance, check this out. This is the language breakdown from the repository page. Now, we've been calling this a Python app this whole time, but GitHub is telling us it's over 80% PowerShell. So, what's up with that? Well, this usually points to some hidden helper scripts, things for setup or testing or automation. It's a great little reminder that even the simplest projects can have some hidden complexity.
And really, this is the main takeaway. This simple little app is a fundamental building block. The whole process we just went through, finding the README, understanding its purpose, and figuring out how to run it, that is a core skill. If you can master this, you can use the exact same process on projects that are 1,000 times bigger and way more complex.
The project's title actually calls this Phase 1, which is a huge hint that the creator is already thinking about what comes next. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you totally get this project, what's the one feature you would build for Phase 2? Maybe, I don't know, the ability to actually save your tasks or add due dates. It's a fun thing to think about. Thanks for joining me on this tour.